So, Curious Light, one of the most important characters in Doors. Curious Light actually drops the biggest lore dump in the whole of Doors, and this helps us piece the entire story of Doors, and it's big. So before I get into the big reveal, please consider subscribing and liking and commenting on what you think on this reveal. But anyways, so Curious Light, one of the Celestials alongside Guiding Light and Mischievous Light, who is a star as we can see from the painting in Door 60 called Space Time. Now Curious Light is really interesting because Curious Light, unlike Guiding Light, doesn't really help you much, but rather he's a neutral kind of character. Neither do you get any help from him, or neither does he go against us. But instead, from a lot of dialogues when we die in the rooms or the back doors, we get some massive lore dumps on how this game actually works. And these revelations will make you question the entirety of Doors and what the story actually is. Okay, so this death message, for example, says, Curious Light says, "Dead again, I knew you would come back." Basically, once you die to an entity, Curious Light knows that you're dead, but you have the ability to come back and start over. Almost like we're stuck in a limbo and the things we're doing are repeating over and over again, and you actually just can't die. Now, Curious Light knows the names of entities that we die to, like the death message they say for dying to Blitz, the Lookman, or any other entity. Now, Curious Light knows the names of each entity, but the devs have confirmed this in a tweet that the entities actually have no names, but it's actually you, the player, who gives these names of the entities. But if that's the case, then why does Curious Light know the names of some of the entities, especially in this example? So one of Curious Light's death messages in the back rooms, when you die to Blitz, it says, "She said to call this one Blitz." It doesn't make sense, does it? Well, it sorta does. Let me explain. So this tweet was made a while ago, but I theorize that Guiding Light doesn't know the names of the entities, but rather you give the entities the name that Guiding Light says you died to who you call Rush, Ambush, or whatever Hulk. But Curious Light actually never comments on any of the hotel entities, right? Like Rush or Ambush. So, Curious Light never actually reveals their true name and not the ones that you have given them, like Rush. And Curious Light knows the names of the entities because she is telling him the names. So if Guiding Light doesn't know any of the names of the entities, then who exactly is Curious Light talking about when they say, "She said to call this one Blitz"? Well, it's pretty obvious that it's referring to Mischievous Light, the she character who actually hosts these entities in the first place. And it seems like, according to the painting Space Time, we see that Curious Light is right in the middle, and Guiding Light and Mischievous Light are at the complete opposite sides of each other, meaning Curious Light is like a neutral character. Credits to this guy in the comments. He mentions that the generator amulet, where 99% of the time the blue amulet is almost always there, blue aka Guiding Light, and it's always implemented into the generator to begin with. We have to find the other two, the yellow and the red. And the yellow, which is supposed to represent Curious Light, that amulet can be found in the generators implemented, but not all the time. It's sometimes there, it's sometimes not there. Now this explains a lot more about the story if you think about it, as Guiding Light is always there for you, Curious Light is there for you sometimes as a neutral character, and the red one, Mischievous Light, that amulet is never seen to be in the right place, almost as if she is causing all the problems. Now I want to cover something different. So we all know that in front of the king's statue in the courtyard, which was updated in floor 2, there's now a stone tablet saying the word limbo, meaning we are all stuck in a limbo, and Curious Light and Guiding Light are also stuck in this limbo. As we know, the real forms of them are the moon and the star respectively, and only after we die do we get to talk to them and see their true form. But after a big event, whatever caused this limbo, it froze everything, as well as Curious Light and Guiding Light. Now, they're nothing but sparkles of dust. As Curious Light and Guiding Light, they both say to you that please do continue the game, it would be helpful, meaning the lights need our help. And I speculate that they need our help to somehow get out of this limbo and set them free into their true forms. Now, I don't know how the devs are gonna implement it. I don't even know if the devs know how to implement it, but this is all speculation, and it all comes down to Mischievous Light, who started everything. Now I want to cover Curious Light's architect piece. Now, before anyone comments that the lights aren't actually celestials, they are architects, that's not true, because celestials, the word celestial means a body in space, and that's exactly what the lights are. They are celestials, they're not architects. And from the windings translated from the crucifix, we know that there are 3 architects. Now, Curious Light's architect piece was actually the NVCS 3000 tablet. Now, the NVCS tablet's specialty was that you could see hidden items behind locked doors, and you could find them very easily, which would be only available once you beat the rooms. But the NVCS 3000 tablet was actually removed and it was replaced with the Vial of Starlight, which is actually super OP. You get 4 chances to use it, and it makes you super fast and gives you another health bar basically. It's really overpowered. Now, previously the NVCS tablet was the architect piece which belonged to Curious Light, but it's now been changed to a more obvious reference, the Bottle of Starlight. So, out of the 3 architect pieces, the Crucifix for Guiding Light and the Vial of Starlight for Curious Light, and the last one, which would be for Mischievous Light, and that is yet to be revealed. But Curious Light, the crafty one, he knows more than what he leads on. He's just like my relationship. She's never giving me a clear answer. So another thing I want to cover is there are different realms in the Doors universe. So basically, when we first join the game and exit to the lobby, we see that this place that is always raining, even in floor 1 or if it's floor 2, the mines, the rain is never ending, almost as if that we are stuck in a limbo and everything is repeating. But after we beat the rooms, we end up on the other side where we see more portals and stuff. But if you notice carefully, the rain seems to be not there in the rooms, meaning this part of the Doors game doesn't occur inside the limbo. This means there's definitely a way out of this hotel, the mines, basically the Doors universe, where we enter a normal world where everything is normal and not overran by rushes and monsters and sleeks. I assume that we need to get rid of Mischievous Light, the root of all destruction, to break this limbo and set free to all the Celestials who are actively asking for our help, like Guiding Light and Curious Light. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm intrigued to know what you think about Curious Light. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and go watch this video.